the equation of the curve is given by y is equal 1 over 3 x cubed, like that. Determine the value of y when x is 3. Sasa hapa kitu nafanya ni kusubstitute. Mahali kwa hii equation unaona x unaweka 3. So you substitute 3 everywhere in this equation where you see there is a value of x. You put 3 instead of the x. So y is equal to 1 over 3. Instead of x, you put 3 raised to power 3 minus 4 into 3 plus 5. This is the same as 1 over 3 times 27 minus 12 plus 5. And plus your cut, this is 9 minus 12 plus 5. And the answer y is equal to 2. So when x is 3, the value of y is 2. The gradient of the curve at x is equal to 3. So kutafuta the gradient of the curve, una differentiate mara moja. So we have our y as is equal to 1 over 3 x cubed minus 4x plus 5. So gradient of a function, this is a function. The gradient ni kudifferentiate once, nasema dy over dx is equal to, you differentiate. How do you differentiate? Ex equals to power 3. If the power of x inarudi pande hii, so tunasema 3 times hii yenye ilikuwa hapa ni 1 over 3. And then x ilikuwa 3, unapunguza x by 1, so itakuwa x minus 1, itabaki x2, so itabaki square minus x hii iko raised to power 1. So 1 ikuja pande itakuwa 1 times 4 times negative 4, itakuwa negative 4, so negative 4. X raised to power 1 minus 1 itabaki 0, so x raised to power 0 is 1, so itakuwa imeisha. So our gradient function dy over dx is equal to, now this one and this one goes, x square minus 4. And now we have differentiated. E ndio inaitwa the gradient function. So ukiambiwa tafuta the gradient when you are given an equation, you're going to differentiate once. Now tunataka kupata the gradient when x is equal to 3. Inamaanisha mahali x iko kwa hii gradient, weka 3. So x square minus 4, meaning this is 3 raised to power 3 minus 4. And this is 9 minus 4. And the answer is 5. So the gradient is 5 when x is equal to 3. Turning point. The turning points of the curve and their nature. So we will determine the turning points and the curve of the nature. So the other name you will find that it means the same with the turning point ni stationary points. So ukisikia mahali unaulizwa tafuta find the stationary points, ni kama kukuambia find the turning points. The turning point of a curve or the stationary point of a curve occurs when the gradient function is 0. Umesikia venye nimesema? The turning point of a curve, the stationary point of a curve occurs when the gradient function dy over dx is equal to 0. So dy over dx is equal to 0. That's where we get the turning points. Tunaelewana? Sasa tushapata dy over dx ni kudifferentiate this our function y, na tushapata the gradient is x square minus 4. So dy over dx is equal to x square minus 4. So now we equate it to 0. So x square minus 4, the answer is 0. So x square is equal to tupeleke hii 4 pande hii, so utakuwa na 4. tunataka the value of x. We find the square root both sides. So tukitafuta hapa x inaenda kuwa either positive or negative 2. X is positive or negative 2. Unajua ni kwa nini tunasema x is negative or positive 2? Kwa sababu negative 2 squares ni 4. Positive 2 squares ni 4. Kwa hivyo majibu ni mawili. Now the value is this. So in now tupate the turning point ama the stationary point. So our value of x is equal to negative 2 or 2. So now we substitute to get the turning points. Tuna substitute hii value ya x kwa our original equation. Hapa, hii equation yetu. Tukisubstitute hapa x, tunapata the value of y. So the turning point will be that coordinate we are going to obtain. So tunafanya hivi. Y is equal 1 over 3 x raised to power 3 minus 4 x plus what? Plus 5. Substitute now when x is equal negative 2. What will be the value of y? Y will be 1 over 3 negative 2 raised to power 3 minus 4 times negative 2 plus 5. You substitute. So y here will be equal to, when x is equal to negative 2, the value of y is going to be 10 to 1 over 3. 10 1 over 3. So now the turning point will be, we write it in the value of xy. So the turning point, the first turning point will be ilikuwa negative 2, 10 1 over 3. So this is the turning point when x is equal to what? To negative 2. And then you write that when x is equal to positive 2, what will be the turning point? So y is equal to a third x cubed minus 4x plus 5. Now substitute where you see the value of x, you put it to 1 over 3 x raised to power 3, 2 raised to power 3 minus 4 times 2 plus 5. So y here, we are going to obtain y as negative a third. Y is negative a third. Therefore, the turning point when x is equal to 2 will be xy. And our x is 2, y is negative a third. So these are called the turning points. And now finally, we are going to check for the nature of the nature of the curve. So we will start when, now we are checking the nature of the curve when x is equal to negative 2. Ukitaka kucheck the nature, kitu nafanya, remember this is x is equal to negative 2, that's from our gradient function. So naweka x, our x here is negative 2. Tafuta number moja, one number to the left of negative 2 and another number to the right of negative 2. A number to the left of negative 2 here is negative 3. A number to the right of negative 2 is negative 1. And here is dy over dx. So unachukua hii value ya x, una substitute kwa the gradient function dy over dx. Kwa hivyo nikisubstitute na negative 2, the answer is going to be 0. Kwa aje? Negative 2 squares ni 4. 4 minus 4, 0. Sawa? Alafu nachukua negative 1, una substitute hapa. Negative 1 square is 1. 1 minus 4 is 3. Negative 3. Fine? And then negative 3. Negative 3 square is 9. 9 minus 3, the answer is 5. Now, 5 tunapanda. Tukitumia zile diagrams yenye ulisoma kwa differentiation, 5 tunaenda juu positive, because it is positive tunaenda hivi. 0 inakuwa hivi. Sawa? Negative inateremka chini. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha this is the max, it is in maximum This one is, we call it the maximum. So it is at maximum when x is equal to -2. Next, now we check when x is equal to 2. Tunarudia the same thing. X, when x is 2, tafuta number moja to the right of 2, to the left of this. To the left itakuwa 1, to the right itakuwa 3. Hapa itakuwa dy over dx. So when x is 2, ukisubstitute kwa gradient function itakuwa 0. When it is 3 itakuwa 9 minus 3 itakuwa 5. When it is 1 square is 1 minus itakuwa -3. Sawa? So tunataka kuangalia tenager, is it maximum or minimum? So negative number tunateremka chini. Sawa? Negative it is, we go down. Tukienda chini tunafika kwa 0. 0 ni flat, ni horizontal. Alafu 5 a positive number tunapanda juu. Tunapanda hivi. So when x is equal to 2, we have it minimum. You have seen that? So it is down, horizontal, 0, up. This one is the minimum. Minimum. So by so doing, utakuwa umepata marks yako ngapi? 5. Marks 5, ukiunganisha na hiyo, utakuwa umeiva vizuri. The figure below shows two triangles ABC and PCD with a common base, PC. PC is 3, 4, AC is this, CD is 7.5, and the angle, this one is 90. The area of triangle ABC is equal to the area of triangle PCD. That is the most important thing here. Area of ABC is equal to the area of BCD. Hapa tuko na triangle mbili, unaona area ya hii na hii. Lakini tukiangalia triangle ABC is a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle, tuko na AC, tuko na hypotenuse, tuko na base. Now we can get the height using Pythagoras theorem. So hapo ndio tunaanza. AC square minus BC square will give us AB square when we subtract, because this hypotenuse minus base, it will give us this. So 7.5.2 square minus 3.4 square will be AB squared. So this one will give us 51.84 minus 11.56, and this one will give us 40.28. But we want AB, so we find the square root, and this one will give us 6.3 to 1 decimal places. So our height AB is 6.3 centimeters. Now what do we do with that height? This height is going to give us the area of ABC. We know area of a triangle is a half base times height. So we have a half times the base is 3.4. 3.4 times the height we have calculated is 6.3. Na hii inatupea 10.7 centimeters square. So tumepata the area of ABC. Very good. Now we go to the next question. Our 3 marks is already obtained. Calculate the size of angle ABCD. Angle BCD. Calculate the size of angle BCD. BCD. So we want to calculate angle BCD. We want this angle here. This angle theta here. So let us extract this triangle. Now we have extracted triangle BCD. This one is D, this one is B, and this is C. Tunajua hivyo. Lakini kitu tunajua ni kwamba area of ABC is equal to the area of BCD. Hiyo ndio tunajua. Na hii triangle BCD tumepewa two sides na tumepewa angle between them. Sawa? So tunajua kutafuta area, how do we find the area of a triangle? Kuna njia tatu. Kuna ile formula ya IONIC formula, kuna half base times side, na kuna half side times side sin theta. So if I use that one, the area of AB, so area of BCD is equal to a half side times side sin theta, because this side and then this angle between them. So area will be 1/2 times this 3.4 times this 7.5, then sin theta. We don't have the theta here, this angle. Lakini tunajua kwamba this area will be equal to the area of the other triangle ABC, which is equal to 10.7 centimeters square. So we calculate everything here. We are going to have 12.75, everything here, sin theta is equal to 10.7. Tunataka theta, remember we are looking for the size of the angle C, theta. So we can divide by here 12.75, tutoe hii hapa, divide by 12.75. Hii inaisha, tunabaki na sin theta is equal to, you divide by this using your calculator, you find it is 0.8392. Lakini tunataka theta. How do you get theta from here? You find the sin inverse. So theta is equal to sin inverse 0.8395. Kutafuta sin inverse unafinya shift sin and then unaweka hii number. Shift sin alafu itakupea hii. So ukifinya hapo inakuletea theta is equal to 57.1 degrees. Lakini wewe ukitumia macho yako vizuri, hii angle iwezi kuwa less than 90. This is an obtuse angle. Kwa hivyo the angle here is the obtuse of this angle. So our correct theta is equal to 180 minus 57.1, the obtuse. And that one will give us 122.9 degrees. So the angle BCD is the obtuse of this angle, na ni 122.7. Vitu zingine hapa sasa ndio unafaa utumie the knowledge you have gathered since types of triangles, angles, acute angle, obtuse angle, leaflet angle. So hiyo knowledge unafaa uitumie hapa. Very nice. Sasa tumepata angle, na the next thing tunatafuta ni length BD. We want the length BD. So B, remember the sine rule and the cosine rule, lazima ujue in hizo formula. So D, this one from BC, we will have small d. The opposite of B is this one, so we will have small b here. And C is here. So we are going to calculate now the length BC, which is C. We know that C square is equal to D square plus B square minus 2BD cos C, cos capital C. Your formula is much. This is the cosine rule, the cosine rule. So C square is going to be D square. D is 3.4 square plus B 7.5 square minus 2 times 3.4 times 7.5 cos, tuko nayo cos C ni 122.9. This is the same as 67.81 into 51. This times C times this will give you 51 cos 122.9. This will be the same as 67.81. Oh, sorry, there was a subtraction here, minus here. So minus into minus, whatever is coming is a subtraction, which is 27.7. A negative times a negative is going to be positive. So we will have 67.81 plus 27.7. And this one will give us 95.51. So C square is equal to 95.5. But tunataka C, hatutaki C square. So we find the square root both sides. And the C is equal to 9.8 centimeters. 9.8 centimeters. Finally, the size of BDC. We want the size of BDC. We want the size of BD. So we want this angle here. We want this angle here, alpha. How do we get the angle? We will use now the sine rule. The sine rule says that, so let me sketch this here. Now we want to get this angle here, this angle. But we know the sine rule. The sine rule says that we can say D over sine D, this D, will be equal to, we can use C, which has an angle, C over sine C, right? So D we have, that is 3.4 divided by sine D, we are looking for D, is equal to C. C we have obtained the C dPc, that is 9.8 divided by the sine 122.9. That one will give us the same thing. So we multiply, cross multiply, we will have 9.8 sine D will be equal to 3.4 sine 122.9. You cross multiply. We want the D, so we can divide it by both sides by 9.8 divided by 9.8. So sine D is equal to 0.29313. So ukifinya calculator you will get this one. Lakini tunataka D, hatutaki sine D. So we want D. D is equal to sine inverse of 0.2913. And D itakupea 16.9 degrees. The distance covered by a moving particle through point O is given by the equation st cubed minus 15t squared plus 63t minus 10. Find A, the distance covered when t is equal to 2. That is simply substituting. So S is the stands for distance, so S will be equal to t raised to power 3 minus 15t squared plus 63t minus 10. Now substitute t when t is, this one will be 2 cubed minus 15 into 2 square plus 63 into 2 minus 10. You only substitute. This one will give us 8 minus 60 plus 126 minus 10. Finya calculator directly number and you will obtain 64 meters. So the distance when t is 2 is 64 meters. Hapo ni kusubstitute to t kwa hiyo equation, hiyo function umepewa. Number B, the distance covered during the third second. During. Wakati wote unasikia umeambiwa during the third hour, during the fourth hour. So during the third hour is from the second to the third. So we start from the second to the third. Ukiambiwa during the fourth second, tunaanza 3 na 4. Ukiambiwa during the fifth second, ni from 4 to 5. I hope umeelewa hiyo. So for us to get the distance during, we will get the distance S when time is seconds, 3 seconds. We subtract S when time is 2. Now we get S when time is 3. We just t cube minus 15t square plus 63t minus 10. Now we substitute t with 3 when time is 3. 3 cube minus 15 into 3 square plus 63 into 3 minus 10. This one is 27 minus 135 plus 189 minus 10. And this one will give us 71. But distance when time is 2 already with part t2, so it's 64. So the answer is going to be S3 minus S2, which is 71 minus 64. And the answer is going to be 7 meters. 7 meters. The time when the particle is momentarily at rest. So at rest, even you, when you are at rest, relax, umepumzika, you are just resting. So you don't move. It means the velocity is 0. Whenever a particle is momentarily at rest, then velocity is equal to 0. That is the fact you need to know. When a particle is momentarily at rest, velocity of that particle is 0. It is not moving, it has no speed. The speed is 0. So first, this equation that we have here need distance. So to get velocity, tuna differentiate mara moja. Tuna differentiate once, tunapata velocity. So now let us differentiate our equation. So to differentiate this equation, we do it as ds over dt is equal, so that is velocity is equal ds over 2 differentiate. So let us differentiate. 3 raised to power 3, hii 3 inakuja mbele inakuwa 3, alafu inabakisha t. T ilikuwa raised to power 2, power 3. So 3 minus 1, the answer is 2, so tunabakisha 2. Hii t ya hapa, the second term iko na raised to power 2. So hii 2 inarudi pande hii, inakuwa 2 times negative 15 itakuwa negative 30. Alafu tunapakisha t moja. T ilikuwa raised to power 2 minus 1 itapaki t, so hapa ni 1. So hakuna cha kuandika 1 plus 63 ikuwa na t moja. T moja hapa iko na 1. 1 times 63 ni 63. 1 minus 1 ni 0, so tunapaki. Kwa hivyo this is the function of velocity. But now we have said that the velocity is 0, so we equate this one to 0. So 3t square minus 3t, 30t plus 63, the answer is 0. We can simplify this by dividing 3 or through, so we have 3t square minus 10t plus 21 equal to 0. Divided by 3 or through. This one, the product is 21, the sum is negative. That one is very easy. It is negative 7, negative 3. So t square minus 3t minus 7t plus 21, the answer is 0. We group them now into 2. So t into t minus 3 minus 7 into t minus 3, the answer is 0. So t minus 7, t minus 7, and then t minus 3. So t is equal to 7 or t is equal to 3. So the time when the particle is momentarily at rest is either when time is 3 or time is 7. The acceleration when t is equal to 5. To get acceleration, differentiate velocity. You differentiate what? Velocity. You differentiate velocity mara moja, unapata acceleration. So our velocity is 3 t square minus 30 t plus 63. So velocity A is equal to acceleration A is equal to differentiate this one. So acceleration is equal dv over dt. We differentiating the velocity. And this one now, 2 inakuja pande 2 times 3 itakuwa 6. T square minus 1, so itapaki t minus. Hapa t ni 1, itakuwa 30. Na hiyo itakuwa imeisha. So our velocity function is 6t minus 30. But we are told when t equal to 5. Sasa una substitute t kwa hii equation, so itakuwa 6 into 5 minus 30. And that is 0. The velocity or the acceleration is going to be 0 when time is equal to 5. Two vertices of a triangle ABC are A and B as shown. Find the equation of line AB. So we want to get the equation of a line. So ili tupata ni equation of a line na tumepewa points ya A and B, kitu ya kwanza tunatafuta ni gradient. So first we need to get the gradient of AB. Gradient of a line is given by change in y over change in where? In x. So let us change our y. Hizi coordinate tukipewa hivi, the first one ni x, ya pili ni y. The first one ni x, ya pili ni y. So now we are changing y, so that is 12 minus 6. Nimeanza na hapa na unaanza tena huko, so itakuwa 7 minus 3. So the gradient is now 12 minus 6 is 6, 7 minus 3 is 4. This is the same as 3, 2 here 3, 2 here 2. So the gradient is 2 over 3 of AB. So once tukishapata gradient, sasa tunachukua one of the point, tunaweza chukua any point, tuchukue 3,6 na the general point which is x, y, na gradient yetu ni 3 over 2. Now we can get now, tunajua gradient is equal to change in y over change in x. But the gradient tumepata ni 3 over 2. So tunasema change in y ni y minus 6 divided by x minus 3. And the answer is 3 over 2. Tuna cross multiply, itakuwa 2y minus 12 is equal to 3x, e times e, minus e times e itakuwa minus 9. So 2y itakuwa 3x negative 9 plus 12. 2y itakuwa ngapi? Itakuwa 3x plus 3. Finally y, so we divide by 2, so we have y is equal to 3 over 2x plus 3 over 2. And that is the equation of line AB. Hiyo ndio equation ya line AB. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of line AB. So the perpendicular bisector of line AB, hiyo ni line ambayo ina bisect hapa katikati. This line is now perpendicular to AB. We know perpendicular lines, the relationship of their gradient. Lakini before even we do that, we must first get what would be the point here at the midpoint. So we need to get the point here at the center, mahali zina meet. So midpoint tunapeana x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2 inatupea midpoint. Tunajua AB, the first x ni 2 plus the second x which is 7 or 3, not 2. The 3 divided by 2, the y6 plus 12 over 2. So the midpoint is 10 divided by 2 itakuwa 5, 18 divided by 2 itakuwa 9. So the midpoint is 5, 9. Hiyo ndio kitu ya kwanza lazima utafute. Sasa the next thing ni kutafuta the gradient of this line C to the midpoint. Lakini tunajua the gradient of AB. Gradient of AB equal to 3 over 2. So the gradient of the perpendicular line, the relationship is M1 times m2, the answer is -1. So the gradient of the perpendicular line is going to be -2/3. The reciprocal of that, but negative. I hope unajua kutafuta hiyo gradient ingine because of time. Now, once tumepata gradient of this line, now tunaweza tumia the general point xy na hii point tupate the equation of the line because tulikuwa tunataka to find the equation. So we have the point 5, 9, we have xy, and then we have the gradient -2, 3. So change in y -9, x -5, the answer is -2/3. You cross multiply 5, 3y minus 27 is equal to -2x plus 10. 3y equal to -2x, tukua ipande ingine equal 10 plus 27. 3y itakuwa -2x plus 37. Divide by both sides by 3. So y is equal to -2/3x plus 37/3. And that is the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. Given that AC is perpendicular to AB, is perpendicular to AB, so it means this one is perpendicular to AC, and the equation of BC is y is equal to -5x plus 47. Find the coordinate of C. Now we want to find the coordinate here of C. Kwa hivyo kama AB na AC are perpendicular, the relationship of the gradient, tunajua gradient ya AB. So gradient ya AC is 2/3 negative. Kama hii ni 3/2, hii itakuwa hivi. Perpendicular lines, the gradient of perpendicular lines, when you multiply them, the answer should be -1. Kama ni hivyo sasa, tuko na point moja, tunaweza pata equation of AC. Equation of AC tutafanya x, y, 3, 6, and then the gradient is -3, 2. Y minus 6/x minus 3, the answer is -2/3. 3y minus 18 equal to -2x plus 6. Like times together, this one is 3y equal to -2x plus 24. This one itakuja hapa itakuwa 24. So y equal to -2/3x plus 8. So this is the equation of line AC. The equation of line AC. Lakini AC sinakutana na BC at the point C. Inamaanisha at this point the value of y is going to be the same. Kwa hivyo tuna equate the equation of y ya hii line na equation of y of this line. So inamaanisha -5x plus 47 would be equal to -2/3x plus 8. This one is going to give us the value of y, of x. Like terms together, hii ni negative ikikuja pande itakuwa -5x plus 2/3x is equal to 8 minus 47. Hapa tunaenda kuwa na negative. Yeah, this one is going to give us -4 1/3 is equal to -39. Kwa hivyo tunataka kuweka equal property. This is 3 times 4, that is 12, plus 1. Negative unaiacha kando. It is 3 times 4, 12 plus 1 is 13/3. Now negative x equal to -39. So we can multiply both sides by 3/-13 times 3/-13. This one goes, so x itakuwa hii na hii itakuwa 3. So x is going to be 9. The value of x is 9. So Now tuna substitute 9 either in this question or this one, and we find the value of x. So let us use this. Y will be equal to negative 5 times 9 plus 47. This one is negative 45 plus 47. So y equal to 2, meaning the coordinate xy, x is 9, y is 2. So C is 9, 2. And you are done. You get your 10 marks. Thank you very much.